You don't get a right to say if someone's crazy or not. You don't deserve that right. You don't get to say that someone's crazy or not, right? This guy, right? He walked up to me in a McDonald's, right? We were in a McDonald's. I was in my JRTC uniform, right? We're getting ready to sit down. He was like, "Oh, JRTC, I was in the military." I said, "Thank you for your service." He started explaining his story. He he said that he was there serving next to his father and his grandfather in war. He was right next to him. He's the one that pulled the electric chair on his grandfather. He's related to Muhammad Ali. He's related to, who else did he say? Other famous boxers, right? And I'm not. He's related to other famous people in general. He was the person that pulled the executioner thing for the electric chair for his grandfather, and he was his grandfather. I wasn't thinking this guy's crazy. You don't get the right to determine if someone's crazy or not. That's not your right. You know? You're not you don't get to make that decision. You don't. It's not your right. You don't get a right to say that. You don't get the right to say, "Oh, that guy's crazy. I'm going to invalidate his opinion." You do not get that right. You don't get the right to judge somebody, right? It's not yours. You don't get to say that about other human beings because you are one. All right? See all this to say, right? At the time, I thought of him not as being literal, but more of an idea, more of a concept. But now, I kind of understand it. I didn't say that all to say that you can't call me crazy. You can call me whatever you want, right? You don't get to call other human beings that are doing other things. You don't get to call them crazy. You don't get to call them that, right? I don't care what you call me. I was in my bed, had a dream. Now, this could be a mix of my subconscious talking to me, right? I was listening to motivational, like some motivational things, right? When I was on Instagram, right, and I watched a horse meat video. I don't even know what the video was about. No, it was about what to do if your life is fried before you're 28, right? It's weird to say this because I'm going to sound a little crazy. Mind you, the guy at McDonald's said, "You're probably not going to believe me, but I was X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z." Guess what? Believed every word that he said. As I was saying, I slept, I woke up, right? In my dream, I was. It's like Kobe Bryant was talking to me, you know what I mean? And he was giving me the reason that I'm a failure, the reason that people fail as people. I'm sure I've heard this somewhere from a quote of his that I've listened to before. But it was the three S's, right, of failure. The three S's that will bring you down or rise you up, right? And I heard that information and I went back to sleep. I woke up and I only remembered two of them. Went to go take a shower, got out the shower, I only remembered one. I sat down to think. What was he possibly talking about? My apologies. What could he have possibly been talking about? You know what I mean? The three S's. Three things that I named it the three S's. It was three things that started with the S. What could he possibly be talking about? The only one I remembered was sloth, laziness, the inability to want to do something. And the opposite of it, discipline, doing something even when you don't want to. Right. And now on my phone that I'm looking at right now, I have the three words written out. I sat down and I really thought about it. And then I said that the second S was stagnation. Stagnation, being comfortable where you are, deciding to take the slow route. You know what I mean? Deciding, hey, this is it. That's enough. I'm done. All right. Stagnation, just standing there, being there, existing, not wanting to move forward. Stagnation will kill you. you get too comfortable, and then all of a sudden, something happens. You don't know what this. The something could be anything. The something could be, the company wants to lay off a couple of people, and you're just one of the Joey Joes that exist. You're just an exister, right? You just exist. You do your job. You do what's stated on the paper, just as most people do. And now you're one of the people that gets laid off because you're stagnant. You don't plan on growing. And it's okay to do what's on the paper, but you have to have other goals. You have to think about what's the nearest, the other place that you want to go to. You can't be stagnant. You could be stagnant in the job, and then on the side, long for something else. You could be doing your 9 to 5, and then from 6 to 8, do something, right? Maybe you're learning more about your field. Maybe you're doing something completely different. Maybe you're getting ready to sign a contract that could release you from that 9 to 5 and truly go. This is one of the things that I thought of. This is why I wanted to make a video about it. Corey X Kenshin, one of the people that I look up to, not necessarily as an idol, but kind of a role model. He made it in life. He did what he wanted to do. And I watched one of his videos. He made the decision that I wanted to go to this school for so long, right? I wanted to go to this school for so long. I wanted to go to Michigan State University. I think it was MSU. Michigan State University. I wanted to go to it because my father went to it. I wanted to follow up the legacy that is being brought forth to me. I'm the oldest child. I made it to the university. And then I realized that I wanted to pursue YouTube. Corey realized that he wanted to pursue YouTube, and he dipped out of college. He said that if this YouTube thing doesn't work, I'm going to upload for, I forgot how many days straight he said. I'm going to upload for X amount of day. I am going to abandon my failsafe. And this is one of the things I saw in the YouTube video by Horse Meat, right? I'm going to abandon my fallback plan, right? Because he didn't have enough time to do college and YouTube. It took up too much of his time, right? He's studying computer science, CS major, right? He abandoned that to full send YouTube. He got his own apartment. His father had to co-sign his apartment, chat. His father had to co-sign it, right? He didn't say, let me abandon my passion, right? He full sent what he needed to do, and he kept on growing. If Corey was like, okay, I'm going to focus on this college thing. It's not my passion, but I'm just going to keep on doing it, right? I'm not going to, if Corey said that he was going to not upload anymore, he's going to be stagnant, right? We wouldn't have the successful 20 million subscribed channel today. We wouldn't have a person that's pursuing their passions, right? And he had to make a sacrifice. That was the third S. Sacrifice. You have to sacrifice something. And it's not even the third S I put down. It was the third S. It wasn't stagnation, it was sacrifice. You need to sacrifice something. Something needs to die for another thing to live. A horse, the grass has to die for the cows to eat. The cows have to die for the humans to eat. Something has to die. There has to be some sort of sacrifice. Corey sacrificed another 2 years in college. I believe he was a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken. Corey sacrificed college, right? Corey sacrificed college, the thing that everyone is programmed, you need to go to college, you need to go to college. He sacrificed that to pursue his dreams, to have money. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, oh, he has 100K, 500K, 3 mil. He said himself that he was well off in 2018 for the rest of his life. Chat, 2018 was 9 years ago. No, I'm wrong. 2018 was 7 years ago. 2018 was 7 years ago. He was good 7 years ago. He took a year off of YouTube to pursue another one of his passions. Everything is give and take. Sacrifice and you shall receive. With hardship comes ease. There's always sacrifice. And that ties into my, well, I guess it's my fourth S now. No, I'm going to say the fourth S is sacrifice. The third S that I wrote down on my phone. Oh, by the way, don't say stagnant. The third S that I wrote down on my phone was sleep. The reason that I forgot the 3 S's was because I decided to value my sleep. You don't need sleep. You don't need anything in reality. The only thing you might need, might is crazy. The only thing you do need is God. God does not need you. You need God. God does not need you. Let that sink in for a little bit. Meanwhile, while you think about that, right? You don't need sleep. There's this false sense of necessity that we all have. You know what I mean? I hate to be the person to say it, but when I had one day to finish a project that I had to do in journalism, right? I was sitting at this very same desk from my brother got off the computer at 10. I was there at 11, and I was doing it till 4 in the morning, and then I was late to school. Consequences. I was late to school. I freed my first period anyway, right? There's only 4 periods in a day for my school. I freed first period, went to second period, which is my journalism class, presented that very same day, and I'm pretty sure I got a great grade on it, right? We're going to get the grades tomorrow, I believe, right? You don't need sleep. You don't need sleep. You don't need to eat. You don't need to drink every day. I'm pretty sure fasting during Ramadan, right, shows you don't need anything. It's kind of a signification that you don't need anything but God. You know, we focus so much on eating, talking with others. You could talk during Ramadan, by the way. I'm not trying to like misconstrue anything, but we focus so much on eating, drinking, talking to others, our relationships here on this earth. Ramadan, the focus is you don't need to eat, you don't need to drink, right? You are supposed to be expressly focused on God. You're supposed to expressly focus on God. That's why you get so much rewards during the month. Like, I literally think about it. I'm not sure if this is a good way to think about it. I think about it as double XP month. The month is set aside for you to exclusively focus on God. You don't need sleep. You don't need food. You don't need water. All these things that you think you need, you can survive without. People think that they need X, Y, and Z. I need to get a phone, right? I need to get a bed. You could sleep on the ground. Oh, this mattress isn't coming in for X, Y, and Z. I'm going to rent a hotel. Aren't you supposed to be saving money? You just moved into this apartment. Your lack of judgment, right? Forgot that you needed a mattress. You don't need to rent a hotel. What you need to do is cross your arms and sleep on the ground for the night. You're supposed to be saving money. You're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. There isn't anything that should stop you from reaching your goals other than yourself. A person told me this, and I was like, okay, but you didn't understand the circumstances at the time. No, looking back, I could have done something to go to my goal. And now I'm reaching it at a delayed state, right? I'm reaching my goal at a delayed state, the state that I didn't want it to be, and I don't feel that great about it. You know what I mean? I don't feel that great about it, right? I reached something late. Late is better than never, but it would be very nice if it happened sooner, right? Would have been great if it happened sooner, but it didn't. Learn lessons from the past so you could excel in the future. You don't need sleep. Sleep isn't a necessity in your life. And because of these 3-4 things, it can make you fail. It will make you fail. You will be a failure if you fall within these 4 things. If you're not ready to sacrifice anything, you will fail. If you don't want to leave some comforts behind, you will fail. If you're lazy, you will fail. If you're undisciplined, you will fail. If you are comfortable at where you're at, you will fail. If you're scared of uncomfortability, you will fail. If you're scared of having to sleep on the ground, you will fail. I think that's it. If you're scared, fear will kill you in this life. Fear will kill you in this life. So many things that we fear there's so many things that we fear that stop us from doing what we want to do. So many things that we fear that stop us dead in our tracks. Sorry, I'm just relating this to my life right now. Fear. Some people fear, at least for me, I know I'm undisciplined. I know that sloth is one of the things that are going to bring me down. And sloth and sleep are in the same bed together. Sleep in the literal sense, not the you don't need sense, you know what I mean? Not the metaphorical analogy that I made. Sloth and sleep are hand in hand. If you're lazy, you tend to sleep more. And when you sleep, you miss out. You know? So many people fear. I know that I'm undisciplined. I know that to build discipline, I want to maybe join the armed forces. Maybe. You know? And I know that sloth will be kicked out of me, to say the least. My apologies. There's so many things that fear stops us from doing. Some people are like, I'm gonna go to World War III. That's why I don't want to join the armed forces. Be a cook. You're gonna be cooking it up on the battlefield, I guess. You know what I mean? So many things that it's fear that's the main limiting factor in life. You know what I mean? Oh, damn. Yo, this person is the perfect person. I'm not gonna marry them because I am scared to get on one knee. I am scared to be like, yo, what is up, my prankster gangster? Let's go out to the diner and kick it. You know what I mean? Fear is the main limiting factor that makes people fail. Fear will make you fail. Having a safety net is a form of fear. It's the fear that you won't succeed. It's the fear that you won't win. And remember what I said. If you want to win, you will. But if you fear that you won't, you won't. What was the quote? The person that says they can and the person that says they can't are often both right. Or something along those lines. That's a bar. If you think it's all a mental mindset. If you think, hey, I'm not going to be able to complete all these assignments for this academic comeback, which is what I'm about to do, I'm not going to lie. You're not. If you say to yourself, I'm sitting down in this chair, I'm charging my Chromebook at the same time. If I get kicked out of this chair, I'm going to go to my Chromebook to finish all of these missing assignments. You will finish those assignments. It might take you until 6 in the morning. Well, you're doing this joint at 3 p.m., but you're doing it. It might take you 12, 14, 16 hours to do it. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's getting done. What your goal is, you need to hone in on that goal. And the thing that will kill you the most in honing in that goal, if it isn't fear, is distractions. I didn't have this bad boy. I still don't have this. Hold on. This is my actual phone. iPhone X. The screen broke. It boot loops. XYZ. I'm pretty sure it's a hardware issue. I had to take off the screen every time I wanted to start this joint up from battery level 0. I don't have it right now. I told everyone that I wasn't going to have a phone for probably about 2 weeks. And I didn't. I couldn't find this phone. I didn't find this one in my pants until like a week after I announced that, right? And when I did, guess what the first thing I did was to this phone. I uninstalled Instagram. There was no TikTok. The only thing I had was YouTube. Right? The only thing I had was YouTube. I wasn't scrolling YouTube shorts. Tried to avoid that as much as possible. I'm just watching Corey X Kenshin uploads. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is distractions will kill you. I have every social media platform you could think of on this phone. Instagram, Snapchat. I got Discord on this phone. My friends are in a Discord call. I see that notification pop up. Guess what? I'm probably joining it. All these distractions, all these people, everyone either they're successful enough to be distracted and it's not going to affect their life, or they're not successful and they're dragging you down with them. If your friend is sending you 20 reels a day, mute him. If he's really not your friend, block him. We can't afford to. It's weird now that I'm saying it, because I've heard people say it before, but now that I have the realization, curse of the youth. Check out that video. You know what I mean? Like you don't understand stuff until you go through it. I explain that whole concept in Curse of the Youth video. That's also on my channel. I'm Diamond 1. I forgot my thought process. Now that I'm saying it, it's weird, but like, bro, don't let other people waste your time. Like I swear I've heard like a version of this. Your time is too valuable to waste on your phone. There was an Instagram, ironic. There was an Instagram reel that I saw, and it was literally like I'm burning out my youth because I'd rather be outside playing, but instead I burn my youth on this damn phone, scrolling, rotting in bed. That gave me motivation to, maybe I should go on a run today, tomorrow. I got work to do, and also it's a little snowy outside. But yeah, people are destroying their lives with distractions. The distraction that is in our phone, that is built into this thingamabobber right here. This is a distraction. You know what I mean? In the future, people aren't going to be holding calculators having calculators in their pockets, the teachers said. You need to be able to calculate APR because no one's going to be able to do it for you, the teacher said. We have calculators in our pockets. We have ChatGPT in our pockets. But guess what? ChatGPT isn't in our control. Nothing is in our control. All these things that we think are comforts to us can be that are useful to us can be flipped to become distractions. Guys, I have a new app that you could talk to your friends. You could communicate with your friends. You could do X, Y, and Z, right? Say Snapchat. Snapchat, you can communicate with your friends, right? X, Y, and Z. But you can't scroll. Can't scroll on Snapchat yet. We're gonna put a thing that's exactly like Instagram. You could scroll on Snapchat now. It's at first it was just direct messaging, and now it's other things. But I'm done here. I'm out. Stay safe. I'm Diamond 1.